My name is Andrew Killey, and for the past more than 10 years, I've been the editor of Reading Between the Lines, which is a study guide for approaching the Synoptic Gospels primarily, but connecting them to what's going on in our own lives, both around us and within us. And it all is an extension of the process developed by H.B. Sharman back at the turn of the 20th century and carried through a number of groups like the Guild for Psychological Studies. One of the questions that was raised was, what is an allegory? And allegories pop up a lot in this kind of literature because people do try to filter the experience through certain kinds of literary forms. I myself don't work a lot with allegory. I tend to work more with metaphor because metaphor is at the very basis of language. Metaphor is the way language works. And so to ponder what allegory is, it suggests to me a way of kind of torturing language. That it's a way that somebody starts out with an idea about what something means, and they force that story to fit into the framework that they already bring to it. So there's a wonderful poem by Billy Conrad where he talks about trying to get people to experience a poem, to drop into it, to feel around it, to discover what's going on in that poem. And he says ultimately what they want to do is tie it to a chair and beat a confession out of it. And that's to me what an allegory is. It's an attempt to force the story to fit this framework so that you have a one-to-one correspondence. It's like nothing in the story is what it is. Each actor, each character, each object is not itself. It represents something else. And that to me kind of kills the nature of narrative, that you wind up reducing a story rather than allowing it to live and expand and grow, which is what metaphor will do. Metaphor tells us that something is something, but it's also more than that something. And so there's always a beyond in a metaphor, whereas in an allegory, there's an ending point, there's a stop point. And so, it's important to be able to recognize an allegory, to recognize when that's what's going on and that's what the author intends or the storyteller intends. And then it's kind of fun to unmask the characters. But it doesn't really grow within you and find its own shape and its own place the way a metaphor will. So that's really what I'd have to say.